Hey guys, welcome to your latest training on the 100. Last time out, we covered some of the NLT fundamentals in terms of training and what it means to be training in my service. The three components we looked at were functionality and resistance training, fitness and cardio, and then overall lifestyle. Today we're going to cover the functionality and resistance training portion. I'm just going to run you through kind of what functional based training means, what it entails, what we need to include to make it functional, and then also just run you through some of the benefits from resistance training. So what is functional training to me? Well, it's based around some key movements that we do. So we'll have a little run through each of those and an example of what you might do in the gym or at home and how that relates to just being functionally able and to be able to move well, train well, and just be strong day to day. The first one we're going to cover is the hinge movement. Now, an example of this would be a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. And if you train with me, I can almost guarantee that you do some form of deadlift, because I'm a big advocate for how much they benefit your overall strength in terms of having a nice strong core, being able to hold yourself in position for a lot of other exercises. I personally think that the deadlift is kind of like the gold standard of functional training. In a way, it's a bit of a funny one with the deadlift because it's not really geared towards muscle growth in a certain area, but the functional strength that it gives you applies really broadly across many different other movements. So for example, if you do a single arm dumbbell row, you have to hold that hinge position well to be able to perform that movement well. So that's why I find it's really key, and the hinge pattern will always be in your programs. The next one we've got is the squat movement. Now, obviously this is as simple as it comes. It's just a squat. Again, it's a fundamental movement, and being able to hold your form in a squat position is imperative for being functionally able and having that control over your body in different situations. Being able to squat well translates really well into lots of other things, so that basically we're never caught short, or if we need to put our body in that position for any other reason day to day. The next four movements are all upper body movements, and they can be split into two directions essentially. You have vertical movements and you have horizontal movements. Now, your vertical movements will be a vertical push and a vertical pull. Each of those would be either a shoulder press for the vertical push or something like a lat pull down for the vertical pull. And obviously this is working in the plane whereby we're pushing up and down. And again, just being able to do this functionally, if you need to kind of be able to push things above your head, if you want to be able to pull yourself up, that is where these movements are going to be best served. The horizontal based movements, so horizontal push and horizontal pull, will cover things like your a seated row for the horizontal pull or a bench press for horizontal push. These are fundamental movements that we would like to be strong at so that we have an overall functionality within our body. The final movement that we want to be able to do well is a carry. This obviously relates super easily to carrying your shopping home. What we're looking for in a carry is your ability to maintain your posture when you are perturbed by a bag, or it might be a weight inside the gym, but not allowing your spine to have any lateral flexion or forward flexion or backwards extension is a sign of being functionally strong. And this will enable you to carry things safely, to have a better work capacity in day-to-day life from having a good carry ability. For each of these movements, there is a broad crossover. As an example, if you do a bent over barbell row, you will have a hinge pattern, and then you will also have a horizontal pull. Lots of these movements can be combined in different ways so we can ensure that we use them safely, use them well, and we have that functional capacity to exercise in the gym, get on with day-to-day life, and just be as strong as you possibly can be to make everything as easy as it can be. That kind of covers the movement patterns that we would generally use in resistance training when you're working with myself. I feel that it's really important to have a good base of strength in each movement, and to be able to apply that to improving your physique, improving how you feel, improving your functionality overall. It really serves to make you as strong as you possibly can be. Alongside obviously the functional aspect of resistance training, there are tons of other benefits. They range massively, but we're going to cover a few of the ones that I think are most important. First off, increase in bone density. As we get older, our bones start to become more porous, they lose density. Resistance training really helps to negate that. If and when you go through the menopause, for example, this is amplified, and resistance training can really help to offset the negative effects of that in terms of bone density. Next up, we have increase in muscle mass and tone. An increase in muscle mass is going to be associated with a better body build, improved aesthetics, better self-image as well. There's loads of benefits to increasing your muscle mass in terms of exactly how you look. Now, alongside that, we have to consider if you have an increased muscle mass, you are also more energy hungry. You will burn more calories day to day just from existing. And that's another reason why we always try and push you to improve your muscle mass if possible. It will help you to maintain fat loss, keep you strong, and also work on areas that you want to work on. You can change your body composition with improvements to muscle mass in certain areas. The most common one at the moment seems to be the bum. You'll see people really training their glutes as hard as they can to get a nice big full butt, basically. Alongside the physical improvements that we see from resistance-based training is the mental health benefits. For me personally, I get a little bit ratty if I'm not training. I know that if I go to the gym, have a good session, I always feel better for it. There is never a session that you complete that you regret. It is fantastic for improving your mental health, keeping you sane, giving you that time to escape and work. Giving you that time to escape, work on yourself, feel good about what you're doing, and keep improving. Once you start seeing the weights go up, you feel yourself getting stronger, you're going to feel much better for it. And the beauty with resistance-based training is there really is no upper limit. If you've lifted 100 kilos, you can try 105. If you do 105, 110, you can always add more, which means you can always improve, you can always keep working, and you've always got something to aim for. One of the things that people get lost in a little bit is that improvements are only made in the weights that we lift. That's not true. There's lots of different factors that can be improved, which show that we are, as we spoke about last time, progressing, overloading. It doesn't just have to be weight. It can be the tempo at which you work. It can be the quality of the movement. It can be the amount of reps that you do. It can be the amount of sets that you do. It can be the recovery time that you need. There are so many different ways to improve. It doesn't just have to be the weight that you're lifting going up. Obviously, there are a ton of other benefits to resistance training as well. You can simply just Google them as well, and you'll get a long list of a ton of different benefits, all of which will help you on your fat loss journey, on your health and fitness journey, whatever it is that your goals are based around. Resistance training should form a massive part of your training. It's important to know that this all ties into one big ecosystem with regards to your health and your training. As I mentioned previously, my 3 things to include would be the functionality and resistance training, fitness and cardio, and then your general lifestyle. These 3 have massive crossover between them. You can't be fully healthy and fit with only a great functionality and super strong. You also need to tie that in alongside the cardio based stuff and also just your general lifestyle. It's important to have a good appreciation of each of these factors, and we will cover the fitness and cardio based stuff in another training coming out soon, alongside also a lifestyle based training as well. Hopefully we've covered a good portion of resistance-based training, functionality, what it means to me, and then essentially what it means for you guys in terms of how you train. If you do have any questions, please ask me them. You know, there's so many different caveats and thoughts about resistance-based training. So if you've got any questions after watching this and you just want to know a little bit more information, obviously it helps me to know what you guys want to know, but also I'll be able to give you the info and obviously point you in the right direction if you need to go and read up some more or find out some more about it.